Today, we're diving into a problem that happens all the time, right? In every big meeting, every first date, every negotiation you've ever had. It's that invisible barrier, that friction you feel when you're trying to connect, and it's just not working. Well, we're going to tear that friction apart and show you how to get rid of it. And the key? It has nothing to do with what you say. It's not about being clever. The secret is in your biology. We're going straight to the hardware of human connection. You know this feeling. You've prepped for days, your ideas are solid, you're passionate, you're trying so hard to be engaging, but it feels like you're talking through a sheet of glass. There's an invisible wall right between you and them. You can't see it, but you can feel it in your gut. It's that awkwardness, that sense that you're working twice as hard just to get half the trust. This is not in your head. It's a real, biological thing, and it's killing your influence before you even get started. And here's the paradox that flips everything on its head. The problem isn't you. It's not your personality, your intelligence, or how good your ideas are. It's way, way deeper. This quote really gets to the heart of it. They don't hate your ideas, they distrust your rhythm. Just think about that for a second. We're all taught to focus on our content, the what, but the human brain, at its most primal level, audits the delivery first, the how. It's listening to the music before it even hears the lyrics. And when that music is off, a gate just slams shut in their mind. And your brilliant message? It never even had a chance. So here's the absolute game changer. Trust isn't a logical choice someone makes after you've made your case. No, it's a rhythmic reflex. It's this primal, split-second biological reaction to a synchronized frequency. We've been told to just be ourselves and hope for the best, as if rapport is some kind of lottery. But the truth, backed by neurobiology, is that you can actually engineer connection. You don't have to hope to find common ground. You can actively create a common frequency. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down the invisible wall and bust the myth of charisma. Then we'll look at the negative feedback loop called the cycle of friction. After that, we'll shift from problem to solution with the synchronization engine, a 3-part protocol to fix this. We'll explore the path of least friction to see the science behind why it works. I'll give you a simple synchronization audit you can use immediately. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with how to sync to win the room. All right, let's kick things off with the big lie that holds so many of us back, this idea of authentic charisma. You hear it all the time, right? Just be yourself and connection will just happen. But what if being yourself is the actual problem? What if your authentic state in a high-pressure moment is tense, fast, and totally out of sync? That's what we need to tackle. So what's actually happening in a first impression? Well, your nervous system is probably a little bit jacked up, right? It's sending out all these signals. It's basically screaming to the other person's brain, I'm a stranger, I'm an unknown variable. In their brain, it's a relentless safety scanner. It never turns off. It's constantly checking your frequency, your breathing, your posture, the music in your voice, and sorting you into one of two boxes, friend or foe. So when you feel that disconnect, it's not because you're boring. It's because you're sending a clashing out-of-sync signal. Your attempt to connect is just coming across as neural static, and their brain's defenses are shooting right up. And this brings us to the cycle of social friction. See, once that first mismatched signal goes out, it kicks off this awful feedback loop that is so hard to break. They feel your tension, so they pull back a little. Then you feel them pull back, which makes you even more tense, and on it goes. Let's diagnose exactly what's happening on a biological level when you feel that heavy, awkward vibe in the room. This slide just lays it out so clearly, the gap between what you want and what's really happening. On the left, that's your goal. You want connection. But the reality? You're bringing asynchronous energy. Your engine is running at a totally different RPM than theirs. You're trying for influence, but what's actually happening is a limbic mismatch. Your emotional brain and theirs are like two guitars that are completely out of tune with each other. And you want rapport, but what you're getting is a systemic neural veto. Their brain has already flagged your rhythm as off and is shutting down access before you even get to speak your mind. Let's give this thing a name, the systemic neural veto. Picture the amygdala, the brain's ancient threat detector, as a bouncer at the nightclub of trust. When this bouncer senses a rhythmic mismatch, your breathing is too fast, your voice is too high, your movements are jerky, it sounds a silent alarm. It decides you're different, and therefore, you might be a threat. And boom, the gates to trust and connection are slammed shut. This is why you can literally feel like you're interrupting someone even when you're just sitting there quietly. Your entire presence is being vetoed. This is probably my favorite metaphor because it's so painfully true. Think about it. You can have the most beautiful, meaningful lyrics, the best data, the most heartfelt story, but if you're singing it off key, it's just noise, it's grating, it's awful. The listener's brain isn't even processing your words, it's physically cringing at the dissonance. All they want is for the unpleasant sound to stop. And that's exactly what's happening when your rhythm is out of sync with theirs.
Okay, so we've really dug into the problem. Now for the good part. How do we fix it? How do we go from being off-key to creating perfect harmony? The answer is to stop trying so hard to be likable and start simply getting in sync. It's time to build what we're going to call the synchronization engine. And this isn't just a cool name. It's a precise 3-part protocol to manually sync your nervous system with someone else's.
I really want you to rethink how you see connection. This is not a soft skill. This is technology. It's not about being charming. It's about being resonant. The protocol we're about to walk through is a trust engine. It's a connection accelerator. You're about to learn how to turn your presence from something that can be rejected into a shared reality that is just accepted. You're going to stop asking for trust and start co-creating it. So here are the 3 gears of the engine. Let's take them one by one. First, and this is the big one, is tempo calibration. You have to match their breath. Stop trying to act confident and just start breathing with them. Watch the rise and fall of their shoulders and subtly match their rhythm. This sends a powerful, non-verbal signal straight to their amygdala that says, hey, I'm safe, I'm with you. Second, echo motion mirroring. This isn't about being a weird copycat. It's about being a subtle shadow. When they shift their weight, you wait a few seconds and then you gently shift yours. You're giving their brain what's called certainty data. You're signaling, I'm like you, we're on the same team. And third, prosody matching. You stop pushing your own vocal energy onto them and you start tuning into theirs. Listen to the music of their voice. Are they talking fast, slow, loud, soft? Your job is to sing back in the same key. You're moving from talking at them to vibrating with them. When you apply this 3-part protocol, the result is, well, it's profound. You're no longer fighting against that wall of social static. Instead, you achieve what scientists call neural coupling. Your brain and their brain literally start to fire in harmony. You're not just resonating with them. Their brain starts to see you as resonating as them. And in that state, trust just becomes the default setting. So we've covered the how, that 3-part protocol. But now let's get into the why. Why is this synchronization engine so unbelievably effective? Well, the answer is in the neurobiology of sync and what it does to the brain's most valuable resource, its energy. This number is just wild. Research suggests that when 2 people are in rhythmic sync, the brain's processing friction can drop by up to 40%. Just think about that. When you're out of sync, the other person's brain has to burn a ton of energy just dealing with you as a potential threat. It's like their brain is running a heavy-duty antivirus scan on you in the background. By getting in sync, you manually lower the energy cost of paying attention to you. You are making it biologically easier for them to listen to you. This is the ultimate efficiency hack for influence. Think about it. All that energy, that 40% we just mentioned, that their brain was wasting just trying to decide if you're safe, it's now free. It's available. You get to reinvest that energy where it actually matters, into your message, into leading the conversation where you want it to go. You're not playing defense anymore. You're on offense in the game of connection. Let's break it down real simple. First, you've got neural entrainment. You just make it biologically easy for them to listen. Second, that leads to neural coherence. Your influence, which used to be all scattered and diluted by static, is now focused like a laser beam on your message. And finally, you trigger something called the winner effect. By syncing up so closely, their brain subconsciously decides you're part of their tribe. You're one of us. And we are hardwired to agree with people who are one of us. So here's the big shift in your role. This whole process changes everything. You stop being a passive bystander just hoping to be liked. You're no longer the stranger knocking on the door. You become the architect of the connection itself. You are literally building the bridge of rapport, one neural pathway at a time. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually start doing it? Let's get super practical. This isn't about some huge personality makeover. It's about making tiny, almost invisible shifts. Let's walk through your very first synchronization audit. In your very next important conversation, I want you to try this. Forget about trying to be witty. For the first 2 minutes, your only job is to match the exhale. Just breathe out when they breathe out. It's that simple. And it directly calms their threat detector. That's step 1. Step 2, execute the 5-second echo. When they move their hands or shift in their chair, you silently count to 5, and then you subtly find a similar posture. That little delay makes it feel completely natural. And step 3, the keyword mirror. Listen for one distinct or kind of unusual word they use, and then find a natural way to use it back in the conversation. These 3 tiny things send massive signals to their subconscious that you're on the same team. So as we wrap this up, I want you to walk away with a fundamental paradigm shift. This isn't just a list of tricks. This is a brand new operating system for how you connect with people. It's about finally understanding that connection is a hardware problem, not a software problem. And this quote right here says it all. This is the ultimate takeaway. For way too long, we've thought of rapport as this mysterious, magical skill that you either have or you don't. But it's not magic, it's physics. Rapport is an engineered frequency. It can be designed, it can be built, and you can intentionally broadcast it to create a very specific, predictable biological result: trust. So what's the bottom line? It's really simple. Stop trying to power through a bad rhythm. Stop trying to yell your amazing ideas over the noise of neural static. The biology of the room will win every single time. So make biology work for you. Your next conversation, just forget about your own tempo and match their breath. Start there. Because once you master the rhythm, your connection becomes an unstoppable force. Sync the rhythm to win the room.